Hey crafty friends, this is Nye with All Things Were Created. Today we are going to assemble our Easter paper cross gift box. I have my pieces, they are cut out and they are lined up. I have my art glitter glue that I will be using for all of my gluing here. I also have some candy eggs that I can put inside of my gift box here, and then I have some Easter grass as filler that I can use as well. I also have my bone folder, or if you want to use a ruler, which I don't have mine here, you can use that as well. That's normally what I use, but I forgot to get mine. So, or you could use your scraper tool. That would work as well. So let's get started. I have all of the pieces, they are cut out here. I have my two top pieces of my cross that are going to be layered on top of each other and on top of the top of the box to give it that effect. And then I have the two pieces of the cross. Now, one is slightly bigger than the other, and the smaller one is what's going to be the bottom of the cross box, and then the larger one is going to be the top of the box. What you need to do is take your layered pieces and just line it up, the bottom here with the bottom of where the fold is for the box. And what you will see is that if it's the right size, everything will line up perfectly. But if it's not, you're gonna see that the top of the cross here, it's not going to match up perfectly. And so that means that the other one is the correct size, and that's also going to be the top part of the box. So you can see it here, it all lines up perfectly. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the top pieces aside, and I'm going to start to fold here along my score lines. And there are a lot of score lines with this one, just because there's lots of different sides of the box that will need to be folded here. And since this is going to be the top part of the box, I'm folding everything so that way this part will go down on it. For the bottom one, I'm going to fold everything so it kind of goes up. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to continue to fold along all of my score lines. And I'm using my finger, or my fingers, I should say. But if you want to, what you can do is take your scraper and really just kind of come along those score lines when you folded them and press it down to really make sure that those score lines are crisp. And so I'm going to just do those there. I'm going to fold these also underneath, and then just come along there and make sure that those lines are crisp. I'm gonna come on this way. I'm gonna do this one here. And then again, just making sure that all those score lines are crisp. I'm going to fold all of these first, and then I'm gonna come back again with my tool there to make sure that everything is crisp. So let me do these first. And I'm going to do this part as well. And there we go. Now, there we go. That's how it's all going to be. Now, before I go and fold all of the pieces together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to take my top two layers and I'm going to glue that down first. So I have my glue, and I'm just going to add in some glue around all of the places where some paper is, kind of coming also in between some of the letters here to make sure that those pieces stay down. Then I'm going to hold my top part in my hands. I'm going to use my fingers to get it in that right spot and then press everything down there. And so what you can do too is you can use any color that you want. You can make your base white and then do blue for the cross. You could do purple, you could do pinks, you could use whatever color that you want here. You could even use foil paper for these layered parts of the cross, or you could even use glitter, really whatever your heart's desire there. So now for this top part here, this one has a lot more of the kind of the design in it. And so what I'm doing is I'm just taking my glue and kind of coming around to some of those areas in between the design, so that way I can get it to glue to the bottom here. And it doesn't need a whole lot, but you do kind of want to make sure that you get some of the pieces. And again, I'm just getting in between here with some of these letters. And then I'm going to press it down again. So I'm holding it between my fingers and I'm coming in and lining it up so it matches exactly. And then just pressing it down delicately there. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm ready to kind of glue the base. So I've flipped it over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and just begin to glue down the flaps. And just kind of getting everything to match up and line up and begin to really allow that shape to take shape. The shape of the cross to take shape. Okay. So again, I'm just adding glue and I'm pressing it down and I'm just kind of sealing everything up. So all the tabs that we have with this design is to seal up the cross. And so you can see it there. So if you need to, you can see, you can just fold where is necessary, bend in the correct way. So this one here, you can see this top part, we're going to actually fold it so it becomes an L. And this one's going to go that way. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to add my glue right along here, here, and then here. And then I'm just pressing it all down. So that way it's completely sealed when I look at it from the outside here. Okay. And if you have any glue that's seeping through, just kind of take your finger and wipe it along the edge, or if you have a paper towel, you can wipe that as well. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the opposite side. That part got caught underneath there. So I'm adding my glue here and then along this part. And then using my finger just to press it down and to give it a second to bond and adhere. And then same thing for the opposite side. I'm going to fold it so it kind of makes that L, or a backwards L, I should say. Or maybe this is the right way and the other side was backwards. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and add my glue and along the top there. And if you need to, just push it a little bit to make sure that it all meets at the edges as well. So you want to make sure that it all meets right there and it's not pushed in at all. And then if you have any glue that's seeping through, again, just wipe it. And there we go. So here's the top part. Very cool, right? So you can see it from that end and you can see it from this way. So now for the base, it's basically going to be the same thing. And I'm going to speed up the video here so it's not just me folding and gluing here. Okay, so here we go. So now that you finished the bottom part, what you can do is, if you want, and you don't have to do any of this, you could just leave your cross as decor. But if you want, you could take a little bit of Easter grass and add it to the inside of your cross here. I'm not a huge fan of Easter grass because, as you can see, it just kind of goes everywhere. But it's a nice little filler to the inside of a gift box. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in a little bit of my chocolate eggs here. These are actually my favorite candy, and they're kind of like a weakness for me. So I love eating them around Easter. I always look for them. Sometimes I'll even buy a couple extra boxes and save it as the year goes on so I can indulge in my weakness. Okay. All right, I'm just going to fill that in there a little bit more and just kind of use it to push everything down. All right. So there's that. And then what you can do is you can kind of come along and take the top and make sure everything is in, and then just press it down. And so there you go. And so you have this cute little box that says it is finished, because it is finished. Our sins were paid on the cross, and it is finished. And so I've got a little bit sticking out here. You can also put it on its side if you want, or you could just leave it down however you want to make this craft work for you, you can. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.